Hey guys, I'm with the Brony, and before this video starts, I just wanted to thank you all for the massive growth to the channel over the last 2 weeks. It's just fucking phenomenal. The following video, while it is a special, is entirely unprofessional and intentionally terrible, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. Thanks for 160 subscribers, guys. EqUAsTriA gILrS halfway to dEStRuaCtiON, written by the Blue EM2. Chapter 1. What it all mean as. Twillet Sprackle was studying in her studying bedroom laboratoried, rocking at a computer as she was one day a house with vial of strange liquid next to her. Fellow student and coworker Tom, that's me, said to her, "Twilight Spirelk, what are you working on?" Twilligated looked back at the fellow student and told him with excitement eye, "Oh, I have discovered new powerful magic similar to the ones released during the Friendship Gammas, but it is too volatile. It has not a half-life, but quarter-life, so we must observe with much hasty." She turned back to her computer and began typing something. Just then, a changeling FiLL right onto Tom's head. "Oh no!" Tolligated Sprackle exclaimed. "Where did that came from?" And she went to get her geode ut it was missing, so she had to borrow pendant of magics and demons. So she went over to it and pized it up and said, "Changeling, you die for getting on Tom's head." And she blasted it with her geode magics, and the changeling exploded and went away. Tom was unhurt, but his face was cut. "Watch where yous shoots at me," he said with conviction. "Just kidding." And they laughed and laughed. "Oh no!" Tom exclaimed. "Where id Isotop? Where id magic vial?" "Oh no!" Twilith cried. "Oot has been stolen." So they got in Tom's car that had Molotovs made of super fuel in the gas tank and drove away. "Yes!" Tom cried. This car goes faster than sound." And the street went to fire because the tires were so hot, and the changeling's AI went on fire and pooped. Chapter 2. They revoker the magic vials, but they don't. Tollicted and Thom arrived at the scene of magic monsters, and Gloriosa Diaze was floating on sky. Then Bad Woman from the film said, "I have the magic, and it will cause a meltdown. It will be revenge for you for making mess of free and sip games with magic and demons and aliens and monsters." "No!" Tweelet cried. "Not all of Mantio!" For that was the place where they were being, and it was a nice place, and my freedom Jimmy lives there. But we need to get back to the story. So where we are, and it was most worrying and troublesome. The Bad Woman laughed. "If you do not give in to my demands, too late." Just then, the pendant containing the magic liquid exploded, and everything got wet and messy, lighting as some of the liquid hit some boy's hapone, and all the thinbigs and made sparks, and the Lukid headquarter life room slowly became vaporized. "We must escape from here, and fastly," Twilighty cried out, but it was of no use for now anyway, for Tim had been blown to smithereens as a pylon had Fagallon and squashed him. Then out of nowhere, boom! A biff portal opened and fell out Joe Chief from FanFic. "Twilight, I will halard them off," he said, before bang bang getting shotted by Cinch. "Ha ha!" she cried. "Stupid human with no head," she said with smiles, but none knew how she had got it a gun. Twilighter ran fastly for the supercar and drove away once more. "We need to stop magics," she cried. "I know what to call." Chapter 3. dEStRuaCtiON is imminent. So Twilight drove along the streets of Rannoch Island looking for an American GUI, and at last she arrived and knocked on the door, and when it opened, she cried, "Jimmy, we need to help contain magic explosion." For Jimmy was an American guy who wrote fanfictions and changed into either ponies or other humans, and none knew how but they needed his help because he was expert in magics and stuff, but he couldn't fly. And Jimmy said, "Why I put." I know! And he saw an object lying next to his door, and he went over to it and paced it up and said, we stop the enemy now and they not blow up Mantio," he yelled from top of lung. So he switched on his portal gun, and Twilight used her portal to warp him over where Bad Woman and her cronies were standing. He picked up a building and squashed them. Then he dropped the building through a portal into the Atlantic Ocean where the magics would explode in the ocean harmlessly and not destroy Mantio.
Hooray!
Cried Twilight and Jimmy. "We succeeded in winning the mission!" "Not so fast!" Tired of the boys for standing there in front of them was an old enemy. "What happens next? You decide." Epilogue. Cheerily finished reading the text and facepalmed. "Rainbow Dash," she sighed. "Either this was intentionally bad or you need serious help with character writing and grammar." "What?" Rainbow Dash replied. "Nobody will want to read it if the protagonist isn't super awesome." "Well, who is this Tom person, or this Jimmy person?" Cheerily asked, confused. "They just appear out of nowhere." "Well, that's true," Rainbow admitted. "But my grammar isn't that bad." "Says the student who spelled buoyancy at least 8 different ways in a single sentence," Mrs. Harsh voice chimed in. "Be thankful I don't teach you English." Rainbow Dash went red. "So how do I fix it then?" she sighed. Her face was serious. "Well," Cheerily said, "start by asking whether your friends want to appear in it or not, then work on a plot. The core story is good, but it needs fixing in order to be readable." "And that means running it through spell check?" the prismatic-haired girl suggested. "More like a proofreader," Cheerily sighed. "This reminds me of something a Canadian guy called Peter Chimera sent me once, and that was absolutely atrocious." "But worse than this, right?" Rainbow Dash asked desperately. Cheerily nodded. "Yes, a lot worse than this. Let me demonstrate by finding the story in question for you, and then..." To end.